Hello everyone and welcome to another video. I'm whimreaper and today we're finishing off the fairy godmother's cottage. Now you've probably noticed by now that this isn't a let's build, this is a speed build, and that's because I was finding it kind of too difficult to focus and build at the same time. Since I'm kind of new to YouTube, it's hard to narrate interestingly, as well as thinking about where I want to place things, thinking about if things go together. So I just did this as a speed build, as you can see right here, and we're just making the office and the basement on the fairy godmother's house. So I'm just adding in the basement, a small basement, and part of the basement is going to be where the elves would work, and part of the basement is the fairy godmother's suite, since I decided this will be a residential lot and not a retail lot because of just because of the ease of not having to switch between lots whenever we're wanting to go to her office. So that's what we're doing right now. She has a secret bookcase to go down to the work area. And that's not really because there's anything that sketchy going on down there. I imagine sometimes she might make potions for some of the evil sims, but I think also it's more just to be professional so that she doesn't have the staircase going down to the lab where she would have her clients, or at least they wouldn't know if she did, which she does. But yeah, so that's going down there, and I just put in some bookcases and mirrors, as you can tell. I thought it looked good because it needed the secret staircase kind of to match in, and that way it looks like there are just regular built-in bookcases rather than just a random single bookcase tucked into the wall somewhere. So that just makes kind of an interesting corridor. And in the screenshots you'll see it looks really nice from live mode. And this is just her desk. I decided not to put a computer in because I didn't want Sims to be using it all the time. And also, I don't think she really needs one. She can use her phone if she has to do anything like that. But yeah, and I just put in like a little place where the clients can sit on little stools, because I imagine that she would want to be looking down from her throne-like chair at her clients. I picture her being a little bit self-absorbed, not too much though. And I put in a little fish tank over there. I think that looks quite fitting in her office, just a little bit more magical, and it kind of goes with the bubbles around her cauldron. And I struggle really hard to find curtains that go on this 3-wide window when it's not a medium or high wall height, because all of them that kind of matched were modern or just like didn't fit the theme or whatever. I don't remember what we end up going with. I think maybe the vintage glamour stuff. Yeah, we do. We put in the blue to match the chair. I didn't want too much blue in her office though, so it's kind of a shame we had to go with that. But it doesn't look too bad. And just putting in some pictures. I think maybe on this wall she might have like clients that she like photos of clients, or maybe that's her family. I don't know. I picture her as not that much of a family woman. As I said, she's not the mother of Prince Charming in this Let's Play. Prince Charming, well, the Prince Charmings, I guess, are living in a castle that I just finished. That is up on the gallery if you want to find it. Just search my username whimreaper and it should be there. This one will also be up shortly. I think I'm gonna wait until after this video goes up to post it though, since it's been one that I've been doing a lot of progress on, and I kind of want you guys to watch the video before you find out what it looks like done, which I know might be unpopular, but I'm gonna do it anyway. So yeah, this is the basement where the potions would be made by the elves. She makes her own potions as well, but I think she would also have a lot of helpers to make maybe like just some of the simpler ones, like maybe they make medicine kind of potions and they would do that one, and she'd do more like the making your dreams come true potions. I'm not entirely sure, and I don't think I'm going to actually add any elves to this Let's Play, but I just, for the purposes of storytelling, that's why this basement is here. Also, I kind of felt like I needed to after watching Shrek. And unfortunately, I couldn't really make it that grand unless I worked to go down another basement level, but I didn't want to. I kind of just wanted to finish it up, especially since we won't be using this area all that much. But I just put in some alchemy tables, some medical supplies from the Get to Work expansion, and it makes it look kind of like they'd be producing stuff down here. It does kind of look sketchy, which wasn't really the intent, but I guess the fairy godmother is somewhat chaotic neutral or something like that, so it still goes. It's just not exactly what I intended. It looks pretty malicious, or not malicious, but menacing. So yeah, I try to friendly it up by putting in some posters that might be like, oh, like lab safety or just decorations. And I was really trying to find more things to put in here, so I did put in these plants, yeah. And that looks like maybe they would use them for their supplies. I also think that any of the flowers that are growing outside of the cottage, the fairy godmother would also use, but the ones growing down here maybe are ones they need a lot of or something like that, or just need easy access to. And I do make this stone at first, but I change it all to wood to make it look a little less creepy and more welcoming, as if it's an actual work environment instead of a secret basement where they do weird stuff. Like, to be fair, making potions is weird, but it's not creepy weird. It's just out of the ordinary. And yeah, I'm really excited with how the godmother's kind of suite turned out, though. I don't know if I really love this area in particular, but the actual suite I really do enjoy. Yeah, so I'm just putting in the plants as I was talking about, and we put in a little kind of potion cabinet area that's through the little hallway in the back. Like, kind of like where Shrek and Donkey and Puss raid in Shrek 2. Obviously, I've already said it that this Let's Play won't have Shrek and Donkey, just so you guys know. I might add in Puss as like a regular cat, but just as a background character. I would never really make a cat a major part of the story, I don't think. But we'll see. I don't have an actual 100% plan for how the story is gonna go either. But I just knew that I wanted to get the groundwork done, and this is the last thing I had to do for that. So the Let's Play is gonna start coming out probably earlier than I thought, unless it takes a while for me to catch up with posting the other videos that I've done. But I think that the Let's Play will start maybe even by next week, or even it could start this week, but we'll see. It's kind of hard for me to talk about it because I don't post my videos as soon as they're finished. I kind of save them for a while, and that's just because we have a very minimal internet plan and we can't afford to make it any bigger, so I had to be careful with how much I'm uploading, otherwise I might run out our data or whatever, and that would be a very, very bad thing, especially with school coming up. But yeah, this is where the potions are going, and I just stuck in some chests also. Maybe that's where they store some ingredients or other finished potions that they might need to lock up, like maybe they're dangerous ones, or like corrosive or explosive or something like that. Not necessarily dangerous for drinking, but that kind of thing. And I just put in this tile mosaic kind of also to try to make it look more friendly. I wish there were more colors and more shapes, but it looks pretty good, I think. And yeah, I just make the walls wooden, like I said before, and this is the Godmother suite, which also I didn't realize until now destroyed the terrain. So I fixed the terrain here and added in some plants to kind of try to hide it a little bit. It still looks kind of strange on some parts of the house, but it's not too bad considering that I didn't really have a choice about it. And I just put in like a special looking flower here, so maybe it's like a magical flower. I kind of thought of it to be like kind of like the Beauty and the Beast rose, where she might give it to princesses who want to teach their husbands a lesson, that kind of thing. But I'm not entirely sure about that. I just think it kind of looks interesting and magical among all the greenery to have this red pop of color. And I struggled so much with the trees on this lot. Everything was blocking the cottage too much because the cottage isn't all that grand. I didn't want to block major parts of it in favor of putting trees that look like they belonged in the area, but at the same time, that became a big challenge to then to work around. And sorry for that little blackout there. I think I needed to change something on the desktop and forgot to edit it out. Oops. But yeah, I'm just adding in a mailbox and a bin because this is kind of the moment I decided that we were going to be making it residential for sure, because I was thinking about the logistics of making her also have a house, and then decided that I wanted this lot to be seen a lot more than just what we would do when she has clients over. So yeah, we're just adding in this little path. The landscaping is still very minimal. It's just kind of like a few trees, and then the bushes are kind of limited to around the house, but I think that that would be her landscaping style. She wouldn't want crazy landscaping everywhere. She'd want it to be very uniform and professional and just charming. But yeah, in a way that is mature. So yeah, I like that I lined the path with rocks. It made it look a lot less strange. And yeah, just adding some bushes around the front. I'm kind of glad that I added these in too. Now that I look at it, it looked way too bare without them. And in the thumbnail, you won't see these, but in these screenshots you definitely will. The thumbnail is just, I'm using the same one to be consistent for all of the, for all of the Fairy Godmother builds. I'm using the same thumbnail so that people can more easily find it in my library. But yeah, I'm just adding in trees. I use a lot of the birchy kind of ones, and then I kind of use the inspiration from what's around the house to decide on what other ones to use. And just putting some terrain paint, obviously, just make it look a little more realistic. And we're almost done with the outside. I seem to remember the terrain not remaining smooth for some reason. I think maybe I extended the Godmother's bathroom or something, and then it messed it up, but I'll fix that before I upload the build. And yeah, here we are, we're expanding it. Yeah, that would have done it. I think I didn't fix it after I expanded the whole thing, but I will try to do my best before I upload it. And in here, I wanted to go with both the red and the blue, but I didn't want it to be as dark as her office, so I went with red and white along with a blue bathroom, and I tried to make it look a little more quaint than you might expect the Fairy Godmother's room to look like. Like, I kept it really classy, but at the same time kind of minimal. I feel like she wouldn't be one to spend that much time in her bedroom. Like, I think her bed would be the main thing she would be using, other than her kitchen, and that would just be, obviously for sleeping and lounging about, but I feel like she would mostly be working all the time. I don't think that she's a lazy sim at all, and if she's not working, I feel like she'd be out of the house, maybe at the gym even. I feel like she could be that kind of a sim. And yeah, I add in that wood pattern again as a floor accent. I was going to do a rug, but then quickly decided to scrap it just because the rugs don't always look great in a smaller suite like this, it kind of takes up a lot of the attention. So instead I go with that wood grain. And yeah, just adding in a bin, and I decided to do an island counter. And it doesn't fit perfectly because it's like right up against the couch and I needed to put in bar stools. But I think that it still looks kind of like it's supposed to be there, and it looks realistic, and like it's it just belongs there. And I really love those anemone, I think it's called, anemone lights, because it just made the whole place look so much brighter and like kind of golden, a golden glow instead of a whiter light. I like how in the lab there are whiter lights because it makes it look more medicinal, but in here I wanted it to look very rich, and those golden lights work very, very well for that. I also put a lot of fire safety things in the lab because I could imagine that there would be a lot of accidents going on where like someone mixes the wrong ingredients and then it creates an explosion or a fire or something. So yeah, and obviously any lab just has safety stuff in it, so I thought that was kind of more of a modern call to the series. And yeah, her bathroom is quite eloquent, but in a way that isn't terribly gaudy. Like, it's still over the top. Like, if you go into someone's bathroom and they have a gold toilet, you're gonna know they're not exactly normal. But I just tried to keep it still classy. And I think that painting, I could imagine it being like a painting of her friend, or maybe a painting of her when she was younger, that kind of thing. I don't think that anything she would have would be for the heck of it. But yeah, we're gonna go straight into the screenshots. Thank you for watching, and I really hope you enjoyed. See you next time. Goodbye!